Some Devils. J-Dog Bad answer more goddamn questions. Today's questions, got them all printed out today from, I think, 3 different videos or so, but I don't know if we'll get to them all today. We'll just pick up where we left off tomorrow. Tomorrow then. First one is from Mr. Slick. Man, you really hate Pantera, laugh out loud. What about Acid Bath, Down, Crowbar, Melvin, COC, Electric Wizard, X-Hoarder, question mark. All shit I never was into. Never was into, have no interest in getting to. Not my cup of metal. Matthew Hamilton, hey big dog. What do you think of the Haunted's first album? Banger or flop? I kind of remember it being fucking wimpy, death thrash flop. However, I remember Kanye always loving the first record, and that's why I specifically listen. I know I saw them too. I don't know if it was on their first album. I forget they opened up for somebody. I just remember it being watered down, fucking just whip metal. In the vein of shit like At the Gates, and even you can even say stuff like The Crown, the fan base, but I thought like The Crown was way a million times better, more aggressive, just heavier, but I just put them in that fan base because it's kind of like the death thrash of the Swedish stuff, as opposed to like Into the Grave or something. It's just a straight up death metal record, Left Hand Path. You know what I mean? So I put them in that category, but I just remember being weak and nothing there. But I wouldn't be against re-listening to it, but I don't have high hopes because I have definitely heard it. I have heard it, and I saw them, and I didn't dig it. So again, I remember Kanye specifically always being a fan of it. Joe Dinkins saw this malevolent. Oh, this is an order question. Saw this malevolent boot in your video. Glad you still had some left. A question that will upset some people. Do you know how many calories you consume in a day? Question mark. How do you get the protein you need without overdoing the calories, or do you just count them during a dieting phase, if at all? Thanks, dog. So kind of definitely tells me that you kind of don't understand how all this works and calories and how many calories you need per day, etc. like that. So they definitely change the calories while I'm trying to gain weight or lose weight. Obviously, the drastic difference. But to hit your protein requirement, I don't see a single human being in the world that should have that problem. And I don't think there's one goddamn person on this planet that should be consuming any less than 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be eating 200 grams minimum. 150 pounds, 150 grams minimum. So let's just say I eat about, on average, like right now, in diet phase, about 250 grams of protein a day. 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. It's only 1,000 calories for my higher protein intake. 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrates has 4 calories. 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. Most people don't know this. 1 gram of alcohol has 7 calories. Alcohol being the most useless out of all of them. The body's just trying to completely get rid of it. So what you do, 1,000 calories, and when I'm dieting, my total calories, I'll give you an idea. Like my macros, they switch around. At my lowest, the lowest they get is like 250 protein, 300 carbs, and about 50 grams of fat. So that's 1,000 calories of protein, 1,200 calories from carbs. That's 2,200, and about 400 calories with 9 times 40, 450. 450. So that's 2,700 calories per day at the very, very lowest. That's the lowest they ever get, generally speaking. You throw cardio on top of that, so you're even more of a deficit. So, yeah, there's no reason you should have any problem getting your protein in. People just think for muscle and shit like that, dude, it's for your digestive health, your brain health. What protein is, it's amino acids. It's the most important macronutrient out of all of them. You don't need carbs to live. Fats are way fucking overrated. They are essential fatty acids. You need them, but you don't need nowhere near what people think. And goddamn, in the last few years, my last few diets, I've done a higher carb diet and a lower fat, and goddamn, that's when you fucking make the goddamn results. Dieting on higher fat, stupid as shit. I don't know if people have to know that you can get. Man, I get on a goddamn rant going on that. All these fucking, even the people that I respect in the bodybuilding world, like they're just fucking idiots. Like they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. As far as like, yeah, well, the insulin's released and that stores fat. No, it don't. What the fuck are you talking about? The process of storing carbs or proteins as body fat is a process called via nova lipogenesis, and is a process that is very difficult for the body to do. Actually, your body stores dietary fats as stored body fat the easiest because it's in its rawest fucking form. Problem is where people think carbs and shit like that, it's because you're not eating straight carbs. You're eating fucking, generally speaking, when you think carbs, more processed carbs, and it's not carbs like cereals and breads and shit. Even that's hard to get fat on. I promise you, if you do that and eat a lead source of protein and like no fats, you're not going to get fat. Almost guaranteed you're not going to get fat. You're eating things like chips, donuts, Hostess cupcakes. They're high in fats and carbs, and they're so easy to overeat. Pizza, think about it. Pizza's super high in fat, super high in carbs, super easy to overeat. So when you combine the two, they're so goddamn tasty that you can eat so much, so you're in such a caloric surplus. Yes, when you're that much caloric surplus, some of those carbs will be stored as fat, but most of it is the dietary fats being stored as fat. All these fucking keto tards and carnitards coming along, dude, they complete fucking idiots that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Now, yes, can you lose weight and shit on a ketogenic diet very easily? Yeah, that's because you're cutting all your carbs and it's so easy to be in a caloric deficit because when you're just eating protein and fats, you're just eating meats and fucking vegetables. Who the fuck wants to eat that? You're not going to have much of a goddamn appetite, and your insulin levels are stable, so you're not going to be fucking hungry. You got hunger cravings. Who the hell wants when you see your next meal? It's fucking like 8 ounce chicken breast over goddamn some fucking spinach with a tablespoon of fucking macadamia nut oil on for some fats. Who the fuck is looking forward to that? Of course you're not gonna look forward to fucking overeat on that and you're gonna lose weight. No shit. But your performance is dog shit. Your muscles fucking flat, zero glycogen or very little glycogen, so your performance in the gym is dog shit. You damn sure ain't building no goddamn muscle. It's unoptimal and it's not sustainable either. So yeah, but those guys get me fucking rolling. Just how, and I'm talking about guys that are high up. I'm like, some of this shit, dude, that you guys are spewing out, like, you don't know this. Any athlete is on a high carbohydrate diet, moderate fats. Again, because you do need fats because they're essential. Carbs are not essential. You don't need that many. Just to give you an idea, if you consider how many fats should I be eating, if you want to hit all your health markers and shit like that, all you fucking need, you need about, you weigh 200 pounds, about I'd say 75. It's less than half a gram per pound. 75 grams of fat max is what you need in a day. Just make sure you're getting it from like fish, nuts, avocados, healthy oils, olive oil, macadamia nut oil, whole omega-3 eggs, grass-fed beef. Make sure you're not going over 75 total grams added up and those, and you will have more than you fucking need. You'll stay lean as fuck too. As long as you're not completely eating other dumb shit on top of it. But yeah, you'll stay fucking lean. I don't give a shit if your other carbs are from bread and some bread makes you fat. What fucking delusional ass fucking planet you from? No, don't. I know dudes that get shredded as fuck. Peeled. And they eat bread every fucking day for their diets. It can be done. No, it don't make you fat. Richard Donahue, J-Dog, who are your favorite death metal drummers? As much shitty albums as they fucking have, Flow from Cryptopsy. So the first two records is what I love. I do even like Whisper Supremacy, but his drumming is fucking insane good. Now I don't know how it is on later albums. I don't think I've ever listened to much. I mean, I've heard a couple things after Then You'll Beg. I didn't like it. I do some of that later shit. It was literally like deathcore garbage, completely unfucking listenable. Then You'll Beg was just bad. But Flow in his prime at least. Pete Defeat from Morbid Angel when he was actually fucking playing than that on Terrorize Your World Downfall, but on like Domination and shit. Just talk about a goddamn skill thrown to the truck and trash. Kind of on Gateways too. It's kind of like a waste of a goddamn of talent for those albums. Just these slow mid-paced albums. He was a fucking goddamn blast master. But even like his drumming on like Formula's Fatal Flesh is absolutely phenomenal. Like Max and Christian. Who the fuck don't like Max, right? I'll say this. One of my favorite drum sounds, and is that the current drummer Steve or whatever? Might not be right before he came in. One of my favorite drum sounds is on both Immolation albums, Failures for Gods and Close to a World Below. I just love how the fucking drums sound on that. I loved Odds AAD's drums from Sinister. The reason I really liked him is because there was a lot of blast beats, but it just sounded different. Like it wasn't just a standard goddamn blast beat where you're like you can't tell them apart from others. He just had a unique fucking like you could just tell it apart. So I liked fucking him. I think very underlooked, and I don't think his drumming style stands out as opposed to like an odd AD, where the fuck his name is. Um, but he doesn't ever get pointed out. But I think he gets brownie points for just as long as he's been doing it, and that he can still do it at his age. Is Steve Asheen from Deicide? Because even live and shit, him being well into his 50s, being able to blast and shit like that, I think is pretty goddamn impressive. But does his drum style or anything like really stand out? I never thought so, but you could just tell he's a talented guy. So I would throw him in there. Yeah, I mean those are ones that pop right in my mind. I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting about off the top of my head. Uh, Negated Assaultery. Who would win in a fight between John Cena and the Dog? John Cena, of course. He fucking destroyed me. I wouldn't even stand a chance. Nor have I ever said that I would or act like I would. Lord underscore Agas. What do you think of Revocation? Just fucking nothing there, death metal. Just kind of like, whatever. There's bands that are a million fucking times better. For example, like them or another band nobody brings up is like Obscenity from Germany. Intense down because after Intense, what was it, Cold Blooded Murder, whatever, that pretty much blew chunks from what I fucking remember. And to be quite honest, I didn't listen to anything after that. But Intense down, Human Barbecue, Suffocated Truth, Virgin Mankind, all that shit. That, to me, something like them, you never hear anybody bring them up. I mean, I've brought them up multiple times. I think that blows away fucking Revocation. Revocation's kind of like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's whatever. I know it's just been kind of more a little bit of talk buzz on them in the last 5 to 7 years, shit getting reissued, but I mean, like, it's fine. It's nothing I'd buy. COD HCOD. What the fuck that means? What were your thoughts when Opeth changed their style? I first got to get my thoughts on fucking Opeth on their first goddamn album because, quite frankly, I never checked them out. I saw a goddamn flower on the cover and I said, why the fuck would I want to like this canoe ass pussy shit? Never listened to them. People said, oh, the early albums you got to check out, dog. And I probably will. If they come through, I'll put it on. But I don't have huge high hopes. There's that goddamn Amoeba Records fucking video, What's in My Bag. Of course, there was not a goddamn single ounce of fucking metal in the band and in his bag. Don't remember what the guy's name was or who he was or whatever. Looked like a complete goddamn child molester. Chill the fuck out. Not saying he is, but I'm just saying he just looked like one of those guys I see a mile away. I'm like, I would have had this guy in my house. Could be wrong. It's the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. I'm just saying, first impression, nothing about the guy. He just looked like a complete fucking weirdo. And definitely doesn't listen to goddamn metal. Horrible album cover, Orchid. I just assumed it was gothy fucking pussy metal. That's what I always assumed it as. Again, it could be wrong. Could be the greatest thing since sliced goddamn fucking bread. But that would have changed. I don't know. I didn't get that goddamn far. I got to get started first. Grab and rob the knob. Question for J Dog. This might sound like a generalization, but does it seem like fans who stick to big four thrash metal bands are usually noobs or mostly rock fiends? I just they're not goddamn music fans. And metal heads who are mostly into death metal are past listening to Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth. I could say I fit this category. See, the thing is I kind of don't agree with. It's not that I don't disagree. My stance is I'm the guys that are listening to other stuff. You said death metal. I don't know if they're past Slayer and Megadeth. Like I'm not past them. I still like that shit. I like early Metallica, Slayer, and Megadeth. I mean, let's call it like it is, dude. In my opinion, Slayer's showing no mercy. None of these fucking bands today and stuff, nobody's putting out shit better than that. So I'm not past it. But the reason you listen to other stuff than myself is because you're an actual music fan. These other guys, they're listening to Big Four. What it is, dude, is I guess they can, at best, and that's just assuming that they actually buy physical format and shit. And you kind of don't want to hear that bullshit that, well, oh, no, everybody does and stuff like that. Because a lot of the guys you meet, or at least that I've met, are my age or older. So it's like, that is your generation, dumbass. So you're claiming you like it since high school and shit. You're buying CDs back then. That was the only way to get it. Yeah, even cassettes were kind of like CD or cassette, but even cassettes could have been a little bit outdated. But nonetheless, some type of physical copy. So you don't own it no more. That means you couldn't have been too goddamn passionate about it. You got fucking rid of it. But at best, let's say they do actually own physical shit of it, and they've had it since their teenage years. That would be, I'd give them that they are liked by music, but they're not very big music fans. So they somewhat enjoy metal music, aggressive music to just a very small degree, pretty much to the degree that I appreciate horror movies. I don't need to check all these B-graded horror movies because I kind of don't care. I'm not that interested. That's their stance on metal because what it is, dude, you're just listening to what the mainstream public put in your fucking face. You didn't listen to anything past that. That tells me you're not very interested in this. You see what I'm saying? Like again, the same fucking analogy is like if you had the option, you banged one fucking chick and she's just mediocre, she's a 5 out of 10, and you kind of see in the background there's a bunch of fucking tens and shit. And you're just like, not even interested in checking it out. Nothing wrong with it, but you're probably fucking gay. Let's just call it like the fuck it is. You know what I mean? You're not in a pussy. Like, what do you mean? You weren't interested in checking out? It was available. It was back there. It was flashing itself at you. Because, again, these guys, especially around my age, to get the Metallica's, Megadeth's, and Slayers, they had to walk into some type of record store. And I can tell you right now, yeah, they may not have been selling the goddamn most underground shit in the world, but they damn sure had fucking Overkill. They damn sure had fucking even Cannibal. And I'm thinking of the 90s and stuff like that, the Deicides, Morbid Angels, which is all those bands are more underground than Metallica and fucking Megadeth. So there was other stuff, and it's like that's as far as you made it. Plus, I mean, you're not very into fucking metal. I mean, it just screams that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there is, but I mean, don't go walking around saying like because they do too, and I know because I'll hear it like where I'll hear it's is more so like a bodybuilding podcast like that. Guys where their music's not their wheelhouse at all. It's like please don't talk about it because you look like a fucking idiot. Just want to come on there and school you. Well, they'll talk, but yeah, I like metal too. Stuff like I like all kinds of music. Metal. I'm at the gym. That's usually what I spend. What are you playing? Remember Fuad and shit. Metallica, Pantera, Disturbed, Rammstein. Keep in mind, this motherfucker's what 10 years older than me. Close to it. It's like, why not hear Overkill, man? Why no Blood Feast? Why no Sacrifice? Why no Hyrax? Why? He's clueless. Venom, Merciful Fate, not underground at all. I guarantee he's never even heard that shit. And he's older than me. He's not in the fucking metal, but he's saying that he is. But you're not. That's where it just gets a little fucking annoying. So this goddamn question. S Slade, question marks. Great video, dog. Thoughts on Michael O'Hearn? Oh, the guy's just a con man and a fucking cheeseball fucking fake. I refuse to watch any goddamn video with him. Is he a nice guy? He might be a nice guy, but I mean, so is the goddamn used car salesman that's fucking trying to sell you a goddamn fucking lemon. Now, to Mike's defense, when he was playing this fake natty shit, he's from a much earlier era that it was extremely taboo to talk about PEDs. So that was his start and that was his market being put on magazine covers as an all-natural athlete, right? I kind of can sympathize him for to a small degree, very little sympathy. That's what's he gonna do? He's gonna come back, but that was all a lie now because the cat's out of the bag. Nobody's falling for that shit anymore because dude, it's what it is. It's Boston Lloyd and it's Rich Piana, both R.I.P. that spilled the fucking beans. A lot of you probably don't even know that. People even now, it's funny, like on Instagram, shit like that, they know what trend is and stuff like that. You mentioned that 5 years ago. People were like, what? What the fuck is that? They have no idea what the fuck that is. Now, outside public, they kind of almost know it as almost like what TRT is, testosterone. You know what I mean? 5 years ago, no one knew what the fuck that was unless you're in this goddamn world. But the thing is these 18-year-olds and shit, they have no idea why it's even well known. It's because of Rich Piana and fucking Boston Lloyd. They're the ones that just spilled the fucking beans. And everyone caught on. Well, Mike's way earlier that era. He's not coming, yeah, well, Dandelion Bailey, same fucking thing. It kind of can't go, well, I've been lying for the last 25 years. So I get that. What I think would be more respectable on their end is just don't bring it up at all. Any interviews or videos, and they usually preface and ask, I know this for a fact, like anything you don't want to talk about them, just tell them, like, literally do not mention PED, steroids, anything of the nature, drugs, nothing whatsoever in the video, or this video is cut off and you're not allowed to post it. Make that disclaimer. Don't say I'm natural. Don't say anything. Just don't address it. And that would be more respectable because at least he's not lying. He's just not saying anything. I would have more respect for him then. But the fact that every goddamn fucking second he gets, I'm all natural, all natty, fucking greatest goddamn thing, gift of God. You know what I mean? Fucking natty. I look better at 50 years old than I did at 35, which is physically fucking impossible. It's all bullshit, man. It's all fucking bullshit. The gig is up. And the thing is I hate to break it to you, not that he watches my fucking videos. Nobody in that industry, the fitness industry, the bodybuilding world, nobody, and I know this, I've talked to many, they're all laughing at you, dude. What are you talking about, dude? I know people that you don't know. Yeah, you do. They're nice to you because it's a favor, because you're a big fucking millionaire figurehead. They can benefit from you going in a video or something like that. As soon as they don't need you, they're kicking the curb. I can name countless names of pros and shit I've talked to, and I've even asked, what do you think Michael Hearn and Natty? They laugh. The guy's a fucking fraud and a doink. And I know it's guys that you'll see YouTube videos. They won't say it on a fucking video, though, publicly. I know because I've heard their answers on videos. And I've asked them in private. It's exactly, yeah, the guy's a fucking phony ass fraud. It's cringe city. Nobody respects you, dude. Nobody. Again, 18-year-old kids that are stupid as fuck that don't know any better, and people that can benefit from you in some way, shape, or form. Like you said, shooting a video with you financially, whatever, hooking up with you to fucking collab, business wise, whatever. Well, yeah, of course they are, because they can make some scatole off you. They do to your face. Everybody knows you're a fucking fake, dude. So it's kind of like your legacy. It's like you're just being laughed at. Would you want that? I wouldn't want that, man. It's just, everybody's just laughing at you. You're a fucking coward. That's what he is. So, yeah, again, if he just never brought it up in the last 10 years, I would at least respect it. Because I can understand the 90s and shit like that with Joe Weider and stuff trying to keep it on the DL, never getting brought up. That's why you never heard about brought up back then. I get it. He comes from that generation. But now, dude, just put tape on that mouth shut. Cringe fucking city, and everybody in the know knows it. And you look like a fucking asshat. Come squishy, sir. You know the fucking do. But it's got Boskin ass right in the morning. Later, goddammit.